All right. Hello. Welcome back to New Year, New Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about, this movies that we've watched this month. And we're just going to shoot the shit. You know the drill. Let's start with the first film. You want to start?
Which one?
Which one do you want to start with? Do you like Mercy or do you like the other one?
I like the other one more.
Okay, we can start with the other one.
We can start with Mercy if that's what you have.
No, it's fine. We can start with the other one. All right. So yeah, we can start with Vaa Vathiyar. Do you want to explain what the film is about, or?
Yeah. So let me see. What I can recall off the top of my head. So Vaa Vathiyar is a movie starring Karthi, and the synopsis is that Karthi is just actually first they start off with showing MGR, who for some reason passed away. I forgot what the reason was.
I mean, he was really old.
Okay, he was just old. So he dies of natural causes, and then they show that little Karthi is born, and his grandfather, who was a big MGR fan, looks at a mole on Karthi's foot, and apparently MGR also had it. So he's like, this kid is the reincarnation of MGR, and then the rest of the movie is showing how the grandfather, firmly believes that he's the next MGR, so he holds him to a very high standard. Karthi, on the other hand, is just a normal guy, he's just a normal kid. So he struggles with, balancing the expectations and living his life. That's the rest of the movie. And then there's obviously the superhero stuff.
You forgot the most important part, which is that when his grandpa dies, he feels like he's to blame for his grandfather's death. So during that, some kind of weird spell happens, and that basically imbues the actual spirit of MGR into this guy.
Imbues? Is that a word?
I think so.
Imbibe?
Thank
Imbibe.
You. Imbibe, maybe. Oh, whatever the word is, it's in him now. The spirit is in him. And that alter ego goes around fighting crime and saving the day, and he's like an actual superhero.
Yeah, so he's like an actual superhero, and every now and then at night he has this out-of-body experience where he's a superhero, and then he does all the superhero stuff, passes out, and then wakes up, and he has no recollection of what happened and whether he even is a superhero. He doubted it at first, so he's all confused. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, for me, overall, the first half of the movie, before the intermission, there were a bunch of things happening. So first there was the thing of him living up to the MGR, expectations, and showing how his grandfather is, all crazy about it, and he's just a normal guy. He's cheating exams and all. He's not some ideal person.
Exactly.
And then this girl came around, and then some stuff happened there, and then someone. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ooh. Then Ooh came around and some stuff happened, and then there was also some kind of kidnapping and murder or something, and I was just confused as to what the real story is until they clarified it for me in the second half.
Yeah. I kind of like this movie. There was a lot of things that were kind of weird at first. I mean, like I said, the female lead is like a witch or something. I don't know. Her name is Ooh, which is weird as all hell. I thought she was in a cult. That was actually my first thought process. Yeah. I thought she was in a cult, but I guess she's magic exists in this universe, so she's just a witch. So I guess the female lead is a witch, and she for some reason can predict people's spirits by hugging them or whatever. She can predict their future. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, the point is that he becomes he has an alter ego now, where he has a superhero alter ego, and basically the superhero alter ego can obviously do anything because it's literally a superhero. But the thing is that he doesn't know that that's happening. So he's basically confused because he's going through his day normal day every day, and then suddenly in the night he turns into a superhero and goes and fights crime. I think that this film is really weird. It's a weird film. So I get I think I liked it because I like films that are kind of like just kind of do their own thing. They don't care about the norms or expectations or anything. They just kind of like, this is what I want to be and this is what I'm gonna be. So I kind of like that about this movie. But the editing was like really over the top, and I think it worked well with the aesthetic they were going for. Like,
Yeah, for me, it had me really concerned in the first half because I thought it's going to be another Japan, right? And
dude, we were once again the only two people in the theater.
were we?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's common where we live, at least. But I thought it was going to be another Japan, and in Japan, one of the things I found very annoying was how insanely drunk he was throughout the movie, like every frame of the movie. In the beginning, he was this drunk and lackluster guy, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But then he just never got sober, and I was like, okay, now it's getting boring. That's how this movie was for me. So I got Japan flashbacks, especially since it's Karthi too. But then, yeah, he had more range in this movie. He acted well. He wasn't drunk all the time. So there was a real story happening. And in the first half, at one point, I thought it's just a murder mystery because they were trying to solve that murder. And then the murder went poof, and I don't know what happened. And nobody cares about the murder. So I was really confused, like, what happened? But then when I understood that it's supposed to be this, comic book style hero who's, going crazy, doing these crazy things. And, even if it's wildly unrealistic, it's not a bad thing because that's what they're going for. They're going for the over the top crazy hero stuff. So when I joined that train, I was, along for the ride, and I had fun after that.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think of the like the coloring in this film? Like, what do you think of like the other elements of the movie? Do you think they did a good job, or you think it was kind of bland?
I think they did a good job. I didn't have a problem with, I'll admit I don't notice all of these things, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. But I didn't have a problem with the editing or the colors or anything. The art style, it all looked nice to me. It looked fun. Karthi in his mask and all. I think he was funny. He did a good job. I liked it.
I think it was definitely intentional. Like, you could see that there was a lot more colors to this film, like compared to like Coolie or something, which is like very dark and gritty, and there's like a lot of contrast. They didn't do that with this film. This film was more like bright colors, which I think definitely works with the like the East India color that they were trying to bring about, which for other people who don't know, that's just Technicolor. It's back when they used to like literally paint films, because they used to shoot them in black and white and then put in the colors later. So yeah, I think they did a good job in that. I wish they had gone a little more, like leaned in a little more in that direction, because I feel like that would have helped with like the way they were going with it, And I think they did a good job with like the traditional MGR, like the coiffed hair and the like little pencil stash and all of that stuff. Like, that's a very classical MGR look. So they did a good job with all of that. I think that the only thing that I would fault, but I don't even know if that's this movie's fault. I think this is just movies right now's fault. Like, every shot, I felt like there was like a lot of problems with the focus. Like, it was like, it felt like they were shooting with an iPhone, because like it was like everything was in portrait mode. You see somebody walk out of a frame and it's just one guy like seeing. Like, I don't like that at all. In a way, actually, Iron Lung did a good job with that, because they actually had like things that were in frame and it just didn't look like an iPhone film. But yeah.
I mean, but they didn't really have much depth to work with, right? He's just in a tiny...
Right, but at least it wasn't like they didn't have... Like, you could see the depth of her perception. It was not just person here, everything is blurred behind him. Like, that's kind of like I'm really tired of that. Like, it feels like every shot is a medium shot and nothing is anything else.
True, yeah. I didn't really notice it in this movie. But I remember I noticed it in another movie, and when I did, I just couldn't unsee it. It was the most annoying thing. So in that sense, I'm glad I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they did that, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of colors, one thing I got reminded of was the color of his police uniform. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, and that never happens.
But like
Okay.
I think it was like funny. Like that was again the goal of the film was kind of to be ridiculous. So like I think it actually played well into his character. He was just a useless sack of shit, and then he turned his life around.
Look, it did, okay? It did up to a certain point. Okay, so the thing was, he has this senior position in his, police division, right?
He's like the inspector or like the head of the police station.
Yeah, he's like the head inspector or something, okay? So to flex his power, instead of wearing the designated khaki uniform, he stitches his own thing in like this kind of khaki, but also much darker and fancier check pattern cloth, which is insane, but he did it. That's okay. It was funny. But then he got reprimanded for it by a judge. He was in trial. And then he did it anyway after that too, which is like, what? How do you not get arrested for that? But yeah, that just
Suspended
kept
again,
happening.
or just like whatever, fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did bring up a point that I wanted to like ask you, which is, do you think this film would have worked better as an animated movie?
Yes, I think it would have been. Yeah, I don't know if I have an example from Indian cinema, but in general, yeah, these things could have been an animated movie. They could have had much cooler effects, maybe some cool sounds, and even the text, like when people are hitting like text effects like pow and all. The whole aesthetic would have been really
Did it
cool.
kind of remind you of Hotel Transylvania? Because that was the vibe I was getting. Like it was very zany, random, over the top.
I haven't watched Hotel Transylvania.
What? Okay, well, this is something we have to correct immediately.
Yeah.
I was surprised considering it's an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's animated, so I mean, it's okay. It's true. It's still voice acting. It's not Adam Sandler in there, but yeah.
I mean, they did a really good job, honestly, with showing Adam Sandler as Dracula.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. I know. I don't know why I haven't watched it.
But yeah, it gave me that vibe. Like it gave me a very kind of like zany, over the top kind of film. And I know that this film will never get made as an animated movie because in India there's no way, at least we're not there yet. I don't think anybody considers animation anything other than children's content. So we're just never gonna see like a, and that last time they tried it, they really messed up. See my Coach Aryan review if anybody wants to go watch that.
Yeah, I like this film too. I remember a couple days after watching it, I was browsing Reddit, and I think it was r/Collywood, but I don't remember. And they compared it to some movie that I also don't remember, but I remember that it was a really terrible movie, and I was like, "Wow, that's not fair. The movie wasn't that bad." And then I looked at all the comments, and all the people, most of the people seemed to agree with me that like it wasn't that bad. And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
It's okay.
This film was only in theaters for like 2 weeks though, which is crazy.
Even in India?
Yeah. It's already on Prime.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really short. I feel like it just came out.
Yeah, exactly. So it really didn't do well, which I think is kind of a bummer because I feel like this was kind of a step back from all the other fucking Hollywood movies that are all the same. They're all just a bunch of drugs or spies and they're just like fighting people, and it's all like it's very location coded, like for lack of a better word, but it's all very location coded, and I'm just kind of tired of it. I want to see something new, and I feel like this film did that, but it didn't really resonate with anyone, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I get it. I think that if this film was like Teen Titans Go style, like it was just weird as all hell, I think that would have been great. But they didn't do that because they were live action, so they were kind of limited by the medium itself, which I feel like didn't do a great job. And some of the like weird CGI stuff would have also been kind of gone, would have been easier to understand if supposing it was animated. So that stuff didn't help either. But overall, I think it was like kind of good. I think it was a good comedy. The acting was good. if for, like I said, with given the restrictions, I think they did a good job making this a good live action movie. So all in all, what's your rating for this?
Yeah, I think I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. It's obviously not a perfect movie,
Yeah.
so I can't give it a 9 or a 10, but 8 is pretty good.
I think I give it like a 7. I think it's worth a watch. I think definitely I would I would watch this again. Like it's even like at that level. So it might even be a 7.5. I had fun. And I'm really sad that it didn't do well because I feel like it was actually trying to do something new instead of all the other garbage we've been watching. Speaking of garbage, let's talk about the next movie.
You're going to freak out when you see the trailer for our new movie, Mercy.
Yeah, so Mercy is a movie starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. The whole idea is Chris Pratt is a detective. He's been accused of a crime, and he is in a chair, and he has to be, he has to be his own lawyer and fight his own case and find his own evidence. And all he has to help him out is Rebecca Ferguson, the AI judge, who also has access to this wealth of data that Chris Pratt can look at and decide whether try to prove his innocence. And he only has 90 minutes. And that's the whole idea of the movie. And yeah.
It's so bad. Like, first of all, this poster is a lie. Like, look at this poster. It's got Chris Pratt with a gun and he's got like his friend flying in the background. This never happens. This entire film, Chris Pratt doesn't get out of his chair until the last 10 minutes. I saw somebody describe this as like War of the Worlds, but with Chris Pratt. And that's absolutely correct. Like he literally doesn't get up from his chair. Do you guys like watching movies where like it's just a person sitting? It's just the same thing as what you do when you're watching a film. Just sit down and watch other people do shit. Isn't that engaging? Isn't that like such a like an active and fun thing to like watch people do? Like what is happening? What is the point of this film?
Yeah, I think this movie really, really lost the plot. The entire premise of the movie is that we don't fight crime in the traditional way. Instead, we have this omniscient AI who's going to help us and fight crime, right? But the problem is they don't really use this plot point to give us anything. If this is the idea that it's an AI doing everything, maybe show me in the movie what's so cool about how this AI does everything, how we can use it. Make me feel like, I'm solving the crime or the crime is solved in some new and cool way.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being, I have ChatGPT and let me ask everything. Yeah, and then the plot is so bare bones. It doesn't really, immerse me at all. It's just Chris Pratt sitting in a chair and talking, saying stuff, looking at videos and all. If the plot is really, really, strong and there's like a cool twist here and there, then I'm going to be interested. Oh my god, look, like I can't wait to see what pops up on Chris Pratt's screen next. But that's just not the case.
I mean, this entire movie is just Chris Pratt sitting in front of Rebecca Ferguson, like looking at footage from evidence.com. That's the whole plot of. Did you find out, by the way, supposing Axon paid for this or?
Yeah, so I did not.
Okay.
So, by the way, I work at Axon. Axon is the body cam vendor that is shown in the movie. There's a yellow triangular logo throughout the movie. In every second frame, that's Axon. And usually in these kind of movies, they either distort the logo or not outright call it an Axon body cam.
Yeah, because you're just kind of... And also, it's like free product placement for somebody who didn't pay to be in the film. It's also...
Yeah, exactly. So, but in this movie... it was the original logo. They actually wrote Axon body cam everywhere. So I was on PTO for 2 weeks. I just joined back. So I went and looked it up on Slack.
Uh-huh.
And there's a bunch of threads by many, many people saying, oh, I watched Mercy. Is there Axon everywhere? Do we get any royalties? Is there something official? Is it not? And there was a bunch of replies. There's like 15, 20 people discussing it. Nobody knows.
Okay.
But a lot of people have the same question.
Okay, it's so good. Yeah, it wasn't just me. I was kind of like, okay, what's going on?
So we'll get the answer, but I don't have
Eventually.
it yet.
Okay, well, I'll put an update on this video if whoever finds out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, in this kind of movie, you either need an okay plot and cool action, or you need an amazing plot and no action. But in this movie, there was no plot and no action.
Yeah, the plot literally makes no sense. Okay,
Yeah.
since this is still in theaters, I'm gonna give a spoiler warning, and I'll, put a little thing at the end so that you guys can go watch the rest of it once we're done talking about spoilers. But there's like nothing that makes any sense. Like if you talk about the lead story, his whole thing is that he somehow comes up with like an AI judge that like just like I don't know, sentences people in 90 minutes, which is pretty much against like everything that the United States judiciary stands for. Because the whole point of having a judiciary is that there's due process. So I'm pretty sure that having somebody I'm almost 100% sure. I think that there is no way that it is ever legal to like make somebody stand in court without like the presence of a lawyer. Like they're allowed to represent themselves. That's acceptable, but you can't force them to represent themselves. If they want a lawyer, they're allowed to get a lawyer, and if they can't afford a lawyer, the state will provide a lawyer. Like it's literally impossible, like any of this. And like I just can't imagine what an absolute nightmare this idea that like there's one cloud, like one AWS cloud in the universe that has every single final piece of information that like everyone in LA like has. That seems like such an insane like cybersecurity hazard, because it's just one hacker and this whole town is going down.
Yeah.
Like that's absolutely insane to me. But like even if you accept like all of that, I don't understand how this is engaging. Like it's not even like you get to discover the plot, because there was only like a few people who could have done it anyways. You knew it wasn't going to be. I thought it was going to be the affair because they did show that in the trailer. But then they didn't. Then that guy showed up within like the first 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, so it's not him. So then the only other option, which was his Alcoholics Anonymous guy. Like he was the only other person. It was between him and the daughter, and I don't think the daughter did it. So I was like, yeah, it had to be him. And I knew what the film was going for within like the first 10 minutes. I didn't know how they were going to tie it back, which mind you was super fucking convoluted. But it had to be him because he was the only other person who had any screen. It was the only other person who had any screen time.
Yeah.
And it's like, what I don't understand about this is like, how does the AI not know that there's like information that's like missing? Like she said that like throughout the film, she's like saying that there's like a couple of things where there was an internet outage, so that data is still buffering. How do you sentence somebody without that? Wouldn't that be straight up mistrial? You can't obscure evidence, especially when you know it's coming.
Yeah. I think they did a really poor job of fleshing out how the system actually works.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
There's one thing that you just pointed out, that there was this data.
Yeah.
And the AI somehow did not process it until Chris Pratt told it, hey, look, there's this and this. Can you connect the dots? I mean, this means I'm innocent. And the AI was like, yeah, sure, true. I don't know why I didn't get that. But if it's like this omniscient AI, it should have already connected this dots. And I think at some point in the movie, they actually do use the phrase that the AI connects patterns or dots that humans cannot. So then I don't know why it failed to do it. Second point is the AI. I mean, the whole point of a trial is that, sometimes you can uncover new evidence.
Right.
That's why there are witnesses. That's why there's a prosecution. So,
yeah.
But the AI only works with all the evidence there is already in the system.
Exactly.
Right? So I don't think they thought about this. Something similar was, I don't know if you watched this movie, it's called Predestination.
No, I haven't, but go ahead.
I forgot who the lead is. It's either Ethan Hawke or Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I don't remember, but the idea is that there's this system that, just like this one, looks at all the patterns, and in fact, it goes one step ahead, and it convicts people who it thinks are going to commit a crime. Yeah. So they haven't even committed it yet.
It's like the Tony Stark original plan for Ultron.
I don't remember. But yeah, it connects all the patterns and say, you're going to commit this crime in 12 days, I'm going to arrest you right now. Mm-hmm. But the way they do it in that movie is, they have these supernatural savants who get visions of the future, and there's like 4 or 5 of them connected to that computer. That's why it's omniscient.
Right.
So that ties the plot holes. But in this movie, how, first of all,
How would this
it
get
doesn't have all
approved?
the
Yeah.
data. So what patterns is it even seeing? I don't understand. And then they clearly show that even given the right data, it somehow cannot connect
So
the dots.
there's a thing that they say in this where they were like, we both know that this was not meant to be a fair trial. Like that's supposed to imply that the AI is basically useless. But I feel like if that's the case, then wouldn't even like the first like the okay, I'm gonna spoil the villain story. The whole point is that the first guy who went through this mercy trial was actually innocent. So they catch the guy and they throw him through the mercy thing, and the main villain Rob, or whatever the hell his name was, I think his name was Rob. He goes and this is supposed to be his brother, who's the one who's in the trial, and he contacts the LAPD. I think they're part of the LAPD. I don't know which jurisdiction they're part of, but I'm gonna assume the LAPD. So he contacts the LAPD and he's like, hey guys, this, like, my brother has an alibi. He was talking to me on the phone the whole time, so there's no way he could have committed the crime. And for some reason that data gets buried. So wouldn't you like see that, considering he was marked as guilty, wouldn't that immediately like go to mistrial? Because you're there. The implication here is that the bot is only made, like the AI is only created to judge people who do violent crimes. So that means all other crimes, you are allowed to still sue people. You can still appeal to like an actual judge. There's other things you're
Wait,
allowed.
is that true?
Yeah, it says that she's only for violent crimes. That's why only 18 cases have gone through mercy. Yeah, there's no way that she's.
I didn't know. I don't think that's what they said.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said.
Oh, I thought they said it's for all crimes, and
No.
only 18 people have been executed so far.
No, it was just for violent crimes. That's why they're executing them. Why would you be executing some random civil case? Like what?
Yeah, that makes sense. So a popsicle.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's not happening. No, even a civil case, I meant like, oh, this person is like encroaching on my property. You're not going to execute the other person for that, you know.
Yeah, true.
Oh, his lime tree was on the other side. Let's shoot him in the head. What?
Yeah. You're probably right.
Yeah. So the thing was that then he would immediately have just gone to trial. Like he would have talked to a lawyer, said, "Hey, look, they didn't consider this information when they like this thing, my judge." He would have done a Freedom of Information Act. There was like infinitely many things that he realistically could have done. Especially because it's a closed case, so for sure Freedom of Information applies. So there was like so many things he could have done to prove that this was a mistrial, and it would have gone, the whole thing can't. Like, I don't understand how none of that ever crossed this man's mind, and instead he immediately went to the dumbest plan ever. So like, I don't get how this guy like does any, like, I don't get how anything works in this. Like, his whole thing is that he somehow goes like completely underground, like he's out of the grid, he's off grid, he doesn't connect to the internet, so none of his stuff gets backed up or whatever. But because he has an electrical engineering degree, which I guess does kind of give him some of the skills to make a bomb, but he plans to bomb the Mercy like capital, like the actual court, with Chris Pratt. I don't even remember what Chris Pratt's name was. Do you remember his name was?
No idea. Zero. I don't even know the first letter. I don't know anything.
This is how much we like this movie or care about it. Yeah. So yeah, his plan is to like frame Chris Pratt for the murder of his wife, whose name I remember. Her name is Nicole.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, but I remember her name. I don't remember his name. But yeah, so his plan is to frame him for the murder of his wife, and then since they're both gonna be, obviously the AI is gonna be in Mercy Court, and he's gonna be in Mercy Court, he's gonna take this like bomb that he's constructed with by skimming from his drug job, or pharmaceutical company. I don't know what they are doing. I guess they're a pharmaceutical company, and explode everything. Like, that's his plan, right? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because how would that destroy Mercy? That would just destroy the building. It would cause damage that way. But the source code is not going to be in the building. It's going to be on some random AWS cloud. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that accomplishes. I mean, you're just gonna destroy a bunch of hardware and then you can just rebuild hardware or buy more hardware and then redeploy this AI.
Yeah. You
So
don't even
yeah.
need that much hardware. It's mostly just going to be the network that she's connected to, which probably already exists externally. The only thing that's really connected there is probably it's going to be like a fucking internet connection at best. Like what else is really going to
No,
be
I
in
mean,
the building?
assuming even there's a like an on-premise data center,
Right.
it's just a data center.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you may lose some
And
data.
that stuff would have been
sure,
backed up
but
because they're not stupid.
but
Whoever's
even if
making
you
this.
lose some data, right?
Yeah.
Say some cases are ruined because you don't have evidence anymore. Sure, but then the AI is still going to be redeployed
Yeah.
and more cases are going to happen.
Yeah.
Just kicking me.
What the?
What the?
What the?
What the?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us?
So yeah, I don't know who this movie is for. If you are an AI enthusiast, this is not impressive. If you
Yeah.
are not an AI enthusiast, the story is so bare bones it's not
Right.
impressive again. I don't know.
I also think there's one more thing that I thought about. Like this film genuinely, if you think about even a single plot thread for more than 5 minutes, you're like, that's fucking stupid. Because that's literally the movie. There's one more thing that I realized, that the only reason Chris Pratt gets exonerated in this film is because that guy Rob, works at the same company as his wife. There's no need that those two threads had to be connected. That was a complete coincidence. He could have literally just been his Alcoholics Anonymous, sponsor.
Yeah.
So there was the only reason he follows that thread is because he thinks that Nicole got killed because of the drug stuff. But Nicole never got killed because of the drug stuff. So that reasoning is completely wrong. So it's a complete coincidence. That thread could have gone completely cold and they could have been working at different places and he would have never been able to prove it.
Yeah.
So that's like just massive coincidence that he was able to solve the crime.
Yeah, I think it almost sounds like they wrote it for the sake of
Yeah.
letting him solve it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
Exactly. This movie is so dumb. This movie is genuinely so dumb, and it's so boring to watch. It's literally the equivalent of watching somebody like scroll TikTok. That's the whole film. That's not engaging. That's not fun. And the whole film takes place on like one set at most, and like there's a couple of scenes that you see through like the Axon body cam. But for the most part, it's literally just Chris Pratt in a room talking to Rebecca Ferguson, who can't even act because she's supposed to be an AI. And it's like Chris Pratt's acting is so egregious in this film. And I don't even know if I can blame him because, again, he probably had nothing to work off of. He was just sitting in a green room a room that was painted green. And that was it. That's all he did.
And the whole thing about this AI, I feel like even if we do have such an AI that's so fast, huge context window, it's processing everything, connecting all the dots.
Right.
Even if we did have that, this is not how I would use it. If you have this cool AI, why dumb down the whole system by saying now everyone's going to represent themselves and you only have 90 minutes to solve your case?
Wouldn't this be a
Wouldn't it be-
detective AI?
Yeah, it would be like a detective AI
Yeah.
to help lawyers and make things even faster
Or
and
cops,
better.
yeah.
Now it's just ruined because I have this amazing tool, but what if I just I make pizza or something, or I'm a teacher or something? How am I gonna come and suddenly go into detective mode? I don't even know what to contact, what to look for, who to check, what CCTV footage to look. I don't know anything.
It's
I
so
don't know how this
unfair.
happened.
It makes
It's
no
really weird.
sense.
Yeah.
And the thing is that also like I don't know how he jailbreaks the LLM. Like I don't know how he jailbreaks the AI. Like she's at the end she like turns against everything and she's like I will disconnect which is also crazy. How does she have network connection to like the cops? Like there's a scene in this movie where she literally stops a cop from deploying like I don't remember what it was, but I think it was like an explosive that like would have stopped the truck that was flying towards the Mercy building. She remotely deactivates that explosive, which is just no. Why would you ever give that power? It's just ChatGPT, but with like a larger context window, like what you said. Like, why would
Yeah.
that ever have the like right to go and straight up like stop people from bombing things? That's not even what she's made for. Her only role is to decide whether someone's guilty or not.
Yeah, and they
Who
also,
designed this?
in that moment, they also hint that the AI has actually developed feelings.
Yeah.
Because the reason the AI intercepts law enforcement
Yeah.
and prevents that bomb from going off is because Chris Pratt's daughter is also in the truck. She's taken hostage.
Uh-huh.
And obviously Chris Pratt's worried about that. So that's why she stops the detonation. And then Chris Pratt is like, "Did you do that?" And then she gives like a look which is like neither confirming nor denying.
Yeah.
But really it's confirming.
I mean, there was no other way. The only thing
Yeah.
was it glitched randomly, which
So
is
I don't know
fucking
what
weird.
that means. Why does the AI have feelings now? And if the
Yeah.
AI has feelings, which means it's literally human level, then why couldn't it connect these? Why do I have to coax this super intelligent
Yeah.
AI instead of it finding the patterns on its own? Otherwise,
Yeah.
what's the use of the AI? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's so dumb. This movie makes no sense.
Yeah.
And like you said, anybody with even the remotest idea of how like anything that's artificial intelligence, like anything that's even like machine learning, honestly, at this point, even if you know that much computer science, okay, I'm not gonna, that's kind of condescending. You should know a lot of computer science, no machine learning. But I meant like anybody with like even a small idea of what these like terms mean is what I meant. But yeah, those people are just gonna be like, this is dumb, because they're gonna dissect it the way we do, and anybody else is just gonna be confused because it's not like an engaging thing to see a guy, like I said, just scroll TikTok. Like that's so boring and just dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'd recommend this movie to anybody. There was
Yeah.
nothing in it for me.
This movie is literally a 0 out of 10. I don't even want to keep talking about this film. It's so bad, and nobody should be watching it. And the 18% it debuted with is honestly generous. I think that is already too much. This is like a half star at best.
Yeah. There wasn't anything in the movie. They didn't try anything new. There wasn't any cool music. There wasn't a cool plot. There
I
wasn't any
think this
cool
film
acting. There
was
nothing.
written by AI. I think
Yeah,
that's the
it
only
could be.
explanation.
It could
This
be.
film was written by AI. That's the only thing that I can think of.
If it turns out that the script was AI generated, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
It's so
He's
bland.
disagreeing with you. He's like, nah, Mercy's great.
Yeah, it's just a very bland film. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't have fun.
No, it's bad. It's the worst movie that we've seen. I'm already calling it as the worst movie of the year. I don't even think it could go worse than this. There's no way. Nothing could be worse than this.
Yeah, it could be.
They could make a movie with the budget of a Subway sandwich, and it would be a better film than this.
Yeah, they could do that. This was really, really a waste of time. I didn't grasp. I didn't learn anything from it. Yeah, it's pretty boring. I'll give it a 2. I'll just give it a 0 too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a stupid movie.
I don't want to bring up the average.
Just fuck it. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's just.
What's wrong with him? He just wants more space.
All right. Well, I can go a little bit more to the side. It might ruin our framing, but it's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's do one last thing before ending it, and you can give a recommendation for a movie that's in theaters right now.
Yeah, and this might surprise you, but I'm actually going to recommend Iron Lung. Yeah.
Wow.
So we watched Iron Lung yesterday, and I came out of the theater really, really confused. But in hindsight, and I just finished playing the game. So I watched the movie without playing the game it's based on. And I kind of still agree with my thoughts after watching the movie. But there's a clear difference between playing the game and watching the movie and then not playing the game and watching the movie. I think if I played the game, the movie still have those problems, but I still have fun because there's some nostalgia with the game. I mean, not necessarily nostalgia. The game's only 4 years old, but there's some things I can relate to and be like, oh, they did well and this and that. So I think I'll end it by saying you should watch the movie. Maybe it's not the best choice. Best choice as in maybe it's not the best game you want to adapt into a feature length film. But if you do, adapt Iron Lung into a movie, this is probably how you do it.
No, that makes
So
sense.
for that, I'll actually recommend Iron Lung. Go watch it. It's by Markiplier, whom I don't know, but good job, Markiplier.
You're just gonna insult all of his 18 million fans now.
But I mean, I'm saying nothing negative. So. What's your recommendation?
Honestly, I feel like every movie we watched in the last few days has been a little disappointing. But I think the least disappointing was actually Send Help. Um, it was not good, or in the sense I didn't like it, but I think that might just be because I don't like the type of character that the film was going with. I don't think it's an incompetent film by any means. It's just like, yeah, for Sam Raimi, I kind of expect higher. That's kind of it. But it's worth a shot. I think that if supposing, again, like I said, I don't like the type of characters that they show, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who like it, like Hemo, for instance, like the character. So
I enjoyed the movie.
So you should go check that out. So yeah, I agree with the Iron Lung recommendation for sure. It was actually a fun movie, especially considering they had like a budget of $3 million.
Yeah.
For that, they did a really good job.
Yeah. 3 million is a really tiny budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he did a good job adapting the game to the movie. I wouldn't have maybe picked this game.
Yeah.
But maybe he liked the game. I don't know.
Probably likes the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he did. So it's a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely Markiplier's direction. No notes. I think that he did a great job. It was very artistic while maintaining a level of still like there was a through line throughout the film. But I think that his writing needs some work. I think that there was definitely ideas that could have been explored more in the film that were missing, which might have just been, again, like you said, because of the length of the game. But I still think that going a little bit further with his own interpretation of the movie would have been interesting. Of the game would have been interesting. So yeah, I think that's that.
I have a question. Was the lead Markiplier himself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know who he is. So
Okay.
I just don't know. Okay.
Yeah, he is. Oh God, you just feel like you're gonna get canceled now.
I mean, I was like 90% sure, but I don't know. I don't think I.
The credits
maybe I missed
literally.
the credits.
Yeah, the credits literally said that.
Yeah, I was probably daydreaming. It's the first one, right? So I must have gone.
He was
there.
here top billing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably is the biggest star. I was really surprised that Troy Baker was in this movie more than anything. I was like, I don't think I've seen him since like so long.
No, I don't know who he is.
Well, okay. Never mind. I guess we should stop harassing him now.
Yeah, my YouTube knowledge is not the best.
Alright. That's that. I guess, thank you all for watching. I have 121 subscribers now, which is crazy.
Wow.
So, thank you to every single one of you. And I'm still working on the video that I said I would try to get out by last year. It's really long, so that's kind of why it's taking so long between work and this. But I'll definitely continue working on it consistently after I get this podcast done. So look out for that. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you guys next month with the other movies we watched.
See you guys. Watch Iron Lung.
And subscribe.